So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, yesterday, hormones and emotions were running rapidly high. It was just holy crap. Um, and there's a reason. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. And we're all trying to figure out what the F is going on. And so, yesterday, I was just posting a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, people are trying to plan stuff for the future of this year, and I'm like, oh my god, I know what's going. I know when you can kind of predict what's going to happen, and you see in the future what's going to happen, and you want to warn people, and they're just like basically telling you to fuck off in not so many words. You feel like almost defeated. You feel like shit, you know. And I shouldn't feel bad, but it happens so close to home in my world that I almost have to separate myself. And I guess I'm going to have to in a lot of ways, really just pull back. Because, being the person that says, hey, something's going on here, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. I know it's not my place to say to certain people, but, a good friend will tell people, hey, this is what's going on. Maybe, think about this. People don't want good friends. They want people to just follow, suit. Okay, I get it. All right. So, and then I get these comments on my business page where like, oh, where's the scientific evidence and pharmaceutical uh, evidence to back up that jelly juice could help support and help people get through this coronavirus? And let me tell you this. Why is it do we eat food? Why do we eat food? Because food is a nutritive source that helps cell regeneration. And I never thought I had to really go to the basics with cell regeneration, but why is it only we can regenerate certain things but not other things? Well, it goes to show that when you have malnutrition, malabsorption, you're not going to regenerate the things that you expect to regenerate. When we have an aging population with malnutrition and malabsorption, you're not going to regrow a freaking arm if you've missed an arm. Okay, the body adapts to a certain level of expectation of the food in your body and the absorption rate, and it's not going to go above and beyond what you expect because you're not giving your body above and beyond what it expects. So it's going to basically give you status quo. No different than when people have a capacity of only a certain amount of empathy or whatever, and then you expect them to have a lot more empathy and they don't, and then you get disappointed. That's the same thing with the body. People expect their body to heal when they have malnutrition, malabsorption, and they don't feed their body correctly or deal with their symptoms correctly. It's like you have to understand that your body, if it's not getting what it needs, will only work to a certain capacity. There are people out there that you try to make understand this information and they can't because they only have a certain mental capacity and spiritual capacity, and they can't give anything more. And so now, I'm realizing I'm getting it. Okay. Not everybody has the capacity to understand warnings. Not everybody has the capacity to really heed indicators. They would rather just stick their head in the sand and say, fuck you, in not so many words. And then you're just like, dude, I get it. I get it. I get it. It's not a safe place. It's not a safe room. It's not a safe whatever. I know where I stand. I get it. And so I'm going through my own acceptance. What is it? The three indicators of truth is what first it's like ridiculed and it's violently opposed, and then it's accepted as self-evident. I'm at that third portion where I'm accepting the people in the population, a lot of people in the population do not have the capacity to understand indicators, and they don't want to do what it takes to protect themselves or their kids or their family. And they could give a fuck about anyone but themselves. I get that. Part of me has a hope that people will see something, but They don't care if their mom or their dad or grandpa or grandpa die. They don't care. They would rather have everything lifted and say, okay, which I understand that, because we cannot sacrifice the future of our country for the very weak. So I'm getting that. I'm still Republican, but I still have liberal, Democrat tendencies because I do care about the world that I live in. I do care about the people that can't really help themselves, but I can't do it for them. And that's the push and pull that I deal with. And John Oakes said it very, very plainly. It is Darwinism. John Oakes, I think you're an amazing dude. You definitely have kept me a little bit sane in all of this because of your logic. I tend to be a bit emotional because I want people to get this. I want to save everybody. But you're right. Darwinism is the fact that you can give so much evidence to people of all of the indicators, and you could basically put on a silver platter and they will still refuse it. Like giving a starving person food that can't handle the food. Okay? That's kind of the deal that I'm in. And so, I'm gonna be pulling back on certain things with certain people. I'm just gonna chill. Because I get it. I get it. And I feel bad, but you know what? It's why should I feel bad? You've done everything you could, Jillian. And so, when I have to go to the basics, that food is cell regeneration. And you have to balance out your microbiome and balance out your biochemistry in order to get the massive amount of cellular regeneration, which also means that it will correct the imbalances, which means that you have to expect to shit. You have to expect to have mucus come out of your body. Okay? I've given you so much evidence that the holistic and the allopathic world serve to suppress your immune system when they're taking out organs, when they're putting you on massive amounts of medications. It's not nutritive. It's not helping you in the long run. Okay? I could keep saying it's a shortcut, and yeah, you're having fun today, but damn, who knows when you're going to fucking drop dead tomorrow. But people don't care about the future. All they care about is today. That's all they care about. They don't give a fuck about what's going on and for their kids' future, much less their own. It's all about now, 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 now. What can I get now? What can serve me right now? And yeah. And that's why we are in the place that we're in. Watching Bill Gates get so slammed right now, it's not, Bill Gates' time is over. Okay, so now Bill Gates' time is over. People don't want the vaccines. They don't want to do jelly juice. So guess what? We're going to see a massive Darwin episode of complete destruction of the weak people. And it's tough to fucking watch. It really is. Because with this quarantine, it's giving us a stay of execution. This quarantine is like a cure. It's a stay of execution. But we don't have a vaccine. And even then, a vaccine is not going to be the savior. We have very weak people in the population. As soon as they lift the quarantine restrictions, by God, we're going to have another resurgence. Just, if you look at Italy, if you look at China as an indicator, and if you can't look at Italy or China as an indicator, then you know what? Good luck to you. So, I love my president, and so I'll support him whatever he does. He is actually ultimately right. We cannot sacrifice the financial future of our world for the very weak. So anyways, so it's like, we're not going to do that. So every man for himself. Okay. Whatever. All right. I know we have to learn how to mind our own business, but we also have a duty to our friends and family to give them the proper warnings. And I know I've done probably above and beyond what I'm going to get in return. And that's why I probably am suffering, is because I give above and beyond what I get in return as far as people just understand. I'm not looking for a monetary return. I'm not looking for people to kiss my ass. What I'm looking for is somebody to, what I'm looking for is for people to just do the best they can in understanding this protocol. And even if they do a little bit, if they make it and they do a little bit and they say, hey, I see what you're saying and you're really trying to look out for your, but that's if you understand this. If you don't understand it, I guess you don't even have to worry about it. But, I don't see promise too much in the future for many, many people because of this damn virus. Once these restrictions get lifted, it's every man for himself. It really is. And so I really can't care. I mean, I want to care, but I can't care too much. I have to actually stop myself from caring. Um, and that's difficult because it goes against everything that I believe in, it goes against everything that I was raised with, and it goes against my natural processes to care. But like I've told all you guys, you can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that is really, that's the reality. And I preach it a lot, but now I must put it into practice. Okay. So, when you preach so much stuff out there, whatever it is, it makes it either you are hypocritical or you finally look at your own actions and say, oh my God, am I actually practicing what I'm preaching? Okay. So hold on, I gotta read this thing. Okay. So please let me know. Da, da, da. So, oh yeah, okay. Okay, that's not horrible. Okay, not horrible at all. All right. So, anyways, I just was reading something. Um. So, anyways, so that's kind of the space that I'm in. That's the space that I'm in, and you know, I I've been doing my best not to go out, not to meet anybody, not to go to people's houses. I've been listening to all the quarantine restrictions. I haven't been playing like, oh yeah, I'm on the Jilly Juice, so I'm immune to everything because I know how communicable a person who is asymptomatic. Me being on the Jilly Juice, it's like it's not like a get out of jail free card out there because it means that whatever I'm doing is going to affect somebody else. If I'm communicable, but I know I'm going to survive this coronavirus, I'm not going to go out there and purposely infect somebody. Okay? I'm not going to do it because I know I can handle it. Maybe that person can't. See, that's the stance that I take in the Jilly Juice world. So even the Jilly Juicers have to know that we don't want to infect other people. We do give a shit about our environment. We want people to understand this information. And we're not that selfish to think that, but then now at this point, people want restrictions lifted. They don't care if people hang out together. And I get it. And some people have survived this. Great. Some people don't know if they're going to survive this because they haven't been around a bunch of people with a major, massive viral upload. And I guess that's the push and the pull. Do you hide away in your house forever? Or, you put your hopes in that hydrochloro, whatever, quinine, whatever that is, or a vaccine. Do you put all your hopes in that? So what other choice do you have? You roll the dice, you go out there and hope that you have what it takes, or maybe you support yourself with the Jilly Juice. That's the only options you have. So it's come down to this. Freaking crazy. It's come down to this, but it has. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm just, I'm kind of knowing what's going on really. I know what's going on really. And, what happened back at sea. So January, February, we were watching all the videos of China. People are like dropping like flies. And so they were saying that China may have gotten the virus maybe way back in, say September, October, November, December, January. That's 4 months. It may have been in the summer that China was exposed to this. And only a few people were, and maybe people who died, they don't really know if it was the virus or not. And then they started seeing people come to the hospital. So 4 months. So we learned about this stuff maybe in March is when they actually called it a pandemic. So March, April, May, June, July. So we haven't seen the tip of the iceberg. And yeah, we may be intubating correctly. We may be doing the ventilators correctly. Maybe they were doing it wrong in the hospitals, but it doesn't take away from the fact that people were dropping like flies. Okay. Because as people are trying to compare the numbers like in China and here in the US and saying, oh God, people were using in China the ventilators incorrectly because it's a dry cough versus a wet cough, and they were treating a wet cough versus a dry cough. I mean, there's so many uh, things that people are talking about. My dog's trying to come in. So, but no matter what, we have a very weak population. And anyone that gets exposed to this virus in a crowd form, a major massive viral upload, you'll be see people drop like flies. Or you'll see people get heart attacks and strokes and a rising cancer and maybe encephalitis, meningitis, paralysis, everything. So um so anyways, yeah. Uh yeah. So anyways, I'm a little right now, I'm kind of still just kind of upset that there's people in my world that just couldn't handle the fact that I needed to vent out some of this stuff, and they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's coming, and I'm just I'm just done. I'm just done with the selfish people. I'm just done. So whatever it is, what it is, I can't. I just kind of know the reality, and I'm not going to be fake anymore. So it is what it is. Um, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. Talk to you later. Bye.